Hello and welcome to Cousin Tom Music, the YouTube channel. This is a vlog series, video blog. It's where I'm going to sit here and talk behind some pretty neat nature images that I found on the internet. I'll try to add more as time goes on. But yeah, so this is we need a name first of all. So let's start with some participation. If you have an idea for a name for this vlog series, then please type it in the comments section. And basically, I'm going to be wrong. I'm going to be wrong here a lot. I'm going to say things that are wrong. I'm going to think things that are wrong. I'm just going to be wrong about a lot of stuff. And I want that to be okay. I know we're kind of in a climate right now where people are getting very upset at other people for being wrong, and for making disagreements. And I think that comes from this default mode that a lot of people have, where if they run into someone they disagree with, they just sort of try to win the argument, and they try to like bolster their side with everything that they can muster, right? And they just try to defeat the other side. That's not what I'm doing here. I want to start this whole thing by letting you know that's not what we're doing. We are trying to find the truth. And I am an idiot, okay? Comparatively to the knowledge of the earth that exists, I'm an idiot. I know nothing, Jon Snow. I know nothing, okay? What I'm going to share with you is my current state, right? This is where I am. And this is where I was when I was born. And I hope to not stay here. I hope to keep moving along the timeline of my life, which of course is backwards because I'm doing this to a camera. I hope to progress and learn new things and change my opinions about things and incorporate new information and knowledge into my brain so that I can have a more clear picture of the world, right? That's what this is about. That's what this is about. And so the channel's Cousin Tom Music, and there's no music going on right now. And so you're like, what the hell is this all about? So writing music, writing lyrics to music, which is what I do, involves a lot of thoughts, involves a lot of philosophy and politics and ideas. And so the vlog series is kind of a place for me to think about these things and talk about these things. And maybe we'll analyze some of my songs, or I'll kind of break down like what I'm thinking. Like, all right, I have this verse. These are the lyrics, and this is the kind of idea I'm trying to express. What do you think about it? Maybe do some workshopping, right? But like philosophy, politics, ideas, and writing music and writing poetry, which I'm hoping to get to do more of. I have one poem. I've written one poem. One poem. I need to do some more. That's not true. I've written like a lot of poems, but I've written one poem that I like, that I'm like comfortable with sharing. I'm going to try to use this channel to become more comfortable with sharing things, especially like works in progress and things like that. But back to being wrong, because it's the most important part. If I say something that offends you, makes you uncomfortable, or that you disagree with, know that I want to hear your side of the story. I want to get the information that you have, right? I want with you to go on a journey to find the truth, and we'll never get there, right? That's the thing about truth, I think, is that maybe people much smarter than me can do this, but I fix the language. I don't believe that I'm going to get to a point where I'm certainly true. I believe something that's certainly true. Like, I'm pretty sure our understanding of gravity is true, but maybe it's not. Shit changes. Even stuff like gravity even stuff that's so solid that we depend on and we build all these different systems in our lives may end up being not true. We may have, we almost got it right, but actually it's slightly this way. Who knows? Einstein's relativity. Maybe that's not right. I don't know almost nothing about that. I just know it's a big thing. It's a big, important thing. And so come with me on this journey to find the truth. And when there's a disagreement and you feel that anger, that outrage come into you, I can't believe he said the thing. I want you to remember this episode. I want you to remember that I am interested in inputting more information into my brain, processing it, and adjusting my views based on the new information. I'm not a static object that's just, oh, this is Cousin Tom. And these are his beliefs and ideas, and he will fight to the end, to the death. Yes, a giant military conquest of ideas, which I think is kind of going on at the moment. And so, with that said, a lot of the content that's going to be uploaded is old shit, okay? Old shit. I'm very sensitive about the idea that I am a mega privileged white dude who's straight, for any of you out there who wanted to know. And I'm not part of, I'm not a victim I'm not part of any victim class. I'm not, right? My life is easy. And I'm not just saying that for placation reasons, like, oh yeah, you're white, therefore your life is easy. It's like, no, tons of white people have hard lives. Tons of straight people have hard lives. Tons of, I don't know, what are other attributes? I don't know, blue-eyed people. They have tough lives. The blue-eyed, they go to the eye doctor and, oh God, it's so bright. Seriously. But I actually have had an incredibly easy life. Incredibly easy life. I have. I haven't had to try very hard at anything. I really haven't. And the funny thing about that is the few moments and times in my life where I was challenged and I was pushed into a corner and basically made to work really, really hard and put a lot of effort into something that was difficult for me, I felt awesome afterwards. Because that's another part of the human experience, right? That's another part of the human experience. And it's really easy for me to slip into the minimal effort algorithm, right? To slip into the, how do I get by with the absolute minimal, I just don't want to try at anything. That was school for me. I didn't try in school. I went to college and I didn't read a book. That's sad. I don't know if that says something about me or about the education system. I went to college. I went to college for music, so I read a lot of music. But I took gen eds, and I passed them, and I didn't read any books. I took English classes, history classes, and I didn't read a book. Because when I was in high school, I learned how to bullshit really well. And my friend and I, my close friend and I, in college, would go to the computer lab the day before anything was due, and we would sit down at the keyboard and we would both start typing, and we would not stop typing until the page limit was reached. And as soon as the page limit was reached, capped it off with a final sentence and handed it in. It was all about minimal effort, procrastination, all that stuff. It's a really easy algorithm to slip into. And so that's kind of been a lot of my life. My struggle is to make my life more difficult on purpose so that I can grow as a person. And if you out there are listening and you find yourself spending endless hours in your Netflix queue and everything is easy in your life, I suggest take the difficulty up one level. See how the video game feels, the video game of life feels with it one level up. And when you succeed, it feels much better. And keep doing that. And it's a huge advantage to be able to make your life difficult by design in a way that makes you stronger. Because there are a lot of ways that life can become difficult. For example, if you don't get adequate nutrition as a child, you're going to be 15 to 10 IQ points down from what you should have been. That's awful. That's a way that your life becomes more difficult that's not beneficial to you, right? That sucks. And so when you have the easy life, when you have all these advantages, you can design your life to be more difficult in ways that are beneficial to you, like working out. Going to the gym on a regular basis makes your life more difficult because you're exerting more effort throughout the day. But in return, you become stronger, right? And maybe, because I don't have any experience with this, maybe all of those other difficult things that I don't have to go through, maybe those also make you stronger. They probably do, but I'm not going to talk about that because I don't know what that's like, right? So a lot of the stuff, a lot of the music that I wrote when I was in my 20s was very sad. It was very sort of self-disparaging. A lot of loneliness, a lot of I was just really down on myself a lot of the times. And so I want to post that music up and those songs and those lyrics. And I'm going to. Some of them are in a different file format, so I can't upload them right now. So I have to convert them over. And anyway, silly YouTube thing. If you want to know more about file formats, you don't. So yeah. So a lot of the stuff's going to be older, and I'm hoping not to be judged too harshly on my 20-year-old self. But this is the internet, and so there will be judgment. So yeah, it's a lot of sadness, a lot of just basically not understanding fully and properly how to, I want to say live intentionally. I'm stealing that from Life Math Money, but how to kind of be the best version of myself. And instead of like being sad that I wasn't very popular in school, like I should be, looking at all the things that are good in my life instead. And so two equations. I think we end this. Yeah, I'm looking at the time. Two equations. So one of these equations, the first one is from Jocko Willink. One of these equations is discipline equals freedom. And that equation has been incredibly helpful for me to understand how to live. So for example, financially, discipline equals freedom. And so if you're disciplined financially and you don't spend that extra money on that extra thing that you don't really need, that's not really serving you in your life, that's not really making your life better for more than a few seconds, like let's do a combo. This is something that I used to do. Buy a dozen donuts and eat all of them. A lot of sugar. Right? I love sugar. I've let it go. I let sugar go in January, but obviously I love it. It's because everyone loves it because you're a human being and we've evolved to really appreciate calories because they keep us alive, right? And so if you're not disciplined financially and you keep buying the donuts, then you're not going to be free financially when the market crashes and you have an opportunity to take advantage of the situation, right? Or you're not going to have an opportunity to like go to that concert or that show with your group of friends or whatever because you're in this awful financial situation. And what a lot of times what'll happen is you'll go anyway. You'll charge it on the credit card, and then then you run into debt, and then just whoa. And what happens is you become caged in by your debt and by the habits that are going on. What's up, Mongoose? By the habits that are going on, right? And so discipline equals freedom financially. With the donuts, it's a double whammy. Like dietary discipline or, about being wrong. Okay, so I was going to go in the direction of like dietary discipline equals dietary freedom, but it doesn't really. I mean, I eat right now kind of like a whole foods diet. I used to be vegan for a while. I'm not vegan anymore. And so it's more like if you're disciplined with your diet, it's more like health. I think the proper way to frame this would be like health discipline equals health freedom, or body discipline equals body freedom. Maybe that's I need to get to the right vantage point for it to make sense. So in that, if you're not eating a dozen donuts a day, which I hope you're not, and if you are, consider eating 11 tomorrow. Just consider it. Then you can do things like move around in your environment, in your apartment. You can walk up the stairs without running out of breath. It's not even big stuff. It's not like, ooh, if there's a fight, you'll be able to defend yourself. And it's not even that stuff. It's little stuff like if you go to the gym and you're disciplined in that way, and you're disciplined in your diet, then you get to move around your apartment more comfortably. And you might not think like, that's not a big deal, which is fine. If you don't want that particular freedom, you don't have to have it, right? Like, there's no shame in making the trade, in my opinion. Right? All right. I have to put a lot of those caveats in because, and I don't usually, but I understand that I'm weird in that most people, when they say things like that, they're trying to be shameful for other people's lifestyles, right? For me, it's more about understanding what works and what doesn't work, and then making a choice, right? And so like not eating sugar changes your body in a way that allows you to move around in your life more freely and more comfortably, right? And so that's freedom. But the other side is you don't get to eat all this delicious shit. Or you have to spend a lot of time cooking instead of eating out or buying food. And that's time that you could be spending doing other things. And so it's not that it's a good or a bad thing, in my opinion, right? It's a trade. It's a trade. You will have less freedom of mobility if you have less discipline of the body. That's the trade that you make. And if the enjoyment of food is more valuable to you than your mobility, then enjoy the food. Enjoy it. That's good. That's great. Good for you. That's wonderful. Like, it doesn't hurt me. I'm fine, just because, and this happened a lot when I was vegan, right? Just because I'm vegan doesn't mean I want to force you to be vegan, or I think you should be vegan. It's just, that's a decision I've made for myself. And there's a trade there. And I think that if you can just be honest about the trade, it's very liberating. It's very liberating. I know some people who don't have a lot of freedom of mobility and don't have a lot of don't have a very restrictive diet, or just don't have a restrictive diet. They eat what they want, right? And they're very happy. And that's great. That's like, and they're like, yeah, I understand that this is not good for me. Physically, I understand this is going to lead to health complications, but I'm okay with the trade. It's the group of people who are like eating the donuts and they're just like, I'm going to be healthy, or like, this is going to be okay with my health. Like, this isn't going to affect me negatively I'll be fine. It's like, okay, you'll be fine, but just be real with yourself. Like, yeah, this is going to change your body. It's going to change your mobility. And it's the trade. I'm being repetitive. It's tricky. It's tricky, right? Because it's a very fine line to walk, right? It's a very fine line to walk, to do things that are generally accepted as either like high moral value, like being vegan, like, right? If you're vegan, you a lot of people around you will give you this high moral value, like, oh yes, you're respecting the lives of other living things by not killing them. That's very honorable and moral and good. And immediately kind of reflect it back on themselves, and they're like, do you think I'm not morally good because I'm not a vegan? You know, and that kind of judgment, specifically in the vegan internet space. I don't know about in the real world. Most of the real world people that I've talked to and met that are vegan are like mega chill and cool with other people not being vegan for the most part, and some of them are not, and that's fine. But yeah, that's my philosophy on that. I'm going to be really vulnerable here. I'm going to be probably more vulnerable than I've ever been, because that's what a lot of my music is. A lot of my music that I write is very raw and emotional, and some of it's kind of, you know, I don't like it. I look back on it, especially the old stuff that I've written. I look back on it, I'm just like, oh God, you just don't know how good you have it. Young Tom from long ago. But I hope that I haven't bored you to death. And I hope that you are interested. Actually, to be honest, I don't even hope that you're interested in coming on the journey with me. I just hope that if this is a journey that you want to take, you stick around. And if you don't, then that's fine. It's totally okay. It's totally, you know, this is just going to be a place for us to talk about me narcissistically, and what I think. And hopefully we'll be able to talk about you all in the comments section, what you think. And hopefully some learning can occur. Yeah, hopefully we can. And I know a YouTube comment section is a really crazy place to hope for this, but I'm very optimistic. I think that we can create a little community here of truth seekers that are not interested in defending their opinions. They don't make their opinions a part of them. They're just interested in what's true and using that truth to make decisions in our own lives in the way that we think is best. So a little rambly, but I think that I think that's probably best that the first episode of this is quite rambly, because I'm a kind of rambly human. And so these are all going to be rambly. So you just know what you're signing up for. And if you like the music and you just want to listen to the music, then I'll be posting the music stuff. I should make a SoundCloud account. I haven't yet, but I will, I think. There's definitely going to be some commercialization of some sort going on. However, I won't be running ads. I don't like that form of commercialization. I kind of prefer the direct support model. So if you're seeing an ad, it's because Google put it there and I can't stop them. But I've eliminated as many, all the options, non-monetized, no ads, no pre-rolls, no whatever, as much as I can in the settings. And if you know ways to remove more ads that you're gonna see from this channel, let me know about them. Obviously ad blockers, but I mean stuff that I can do. And so I'll probably set up kind of a Patreon or something, or maybe I'll write like a PDF and sell it for, like $1 or something. I don't know. But I would like to spend more of my time thinking and trying to find the truth and making music And so I want to create a support system that can sort of naturally grow. And if it becomes large enough, then that just means you all can get more music out of me, which hopefully you like, and more poetry and more thoughts. And I get to do more of what I want to do. I think this is a system that could be very good for any musician or artist or, whatever it is that you do creatively. So, go write, go do some music or some dancing or whatever it is that you like to do. Make some stuff, be creative. And maybe someday that you can grow it and you'll be able to do it more and more and spend more of your time doing it. So that's, we're going to end this. We're going to end this right now. Thank you all. It's been wonderful, and I'll see you around.